Hi and welcome to day 5 of Inktober Tangles 2022. I'm Anica Gabrovic, a CZT from Croatia, and for day 5 we have a new tangle, Molygon by Zentangle. So Molygon is a tangle that I don't use too often, and whenever I use it I kind of like it, but I don't know why I don't come back to it more often. It starts with a curved line and then extends into a kind of a moon shape. And then you just add an aura line around that first one and create a second one. And now you can decide on the placement of yours, which might be different than mine. Now I don't know if I need to just add another tile, but I think I will not. I will just add maybe a few more of these in this space that I have here. Maybe just add a few smaller ones to fill the space. See how easily, I believe when I first started using this tangle, I was kind of worried about how I would, place these tangles next to each other, and it was kind of difficult for me. But as I became less worried about the placement, it became easier. I'm retracing the border now. And then I will think about the embellishments around my Molygons. I think I'll just add these curved lines that meet in the middle and then draw aura lines to fill these spaces on the sides. And here I will actually just almost do some roundings, and it will make this central space look like there's maybe an orb nested inside this space. I will do this in the other ones too, or at least start with it and then decide if I want to change something in the way that I embellish them, maybe depending on their size too. So for now I'm just going to proceed with the same way. And this one is quite big too. Well, not too big, but still big enough to fit the same approach of embellishing. And this again is very repetitive, which also makes it very relaxing, which is the point of the Zentangle method, to add some easy and approachable way to relax to your life. This is actually how I started using it, because I had a very stressful job and I found that Zentangle is a perfect way to relax after I came back from my office, and then I really enjoyed it, and I also enjoyed the outcome of this creative process, which made me do it more and more and more, and as time went by, started thinking about offering lessons, and I did this crazy career change from corporate finance to teaching Zentangle full-time. It's been such a wonderful and rewarding ride. I never regretted my decision. It might not be for everybody, but it was the right choice for me. At least it's how I feel now. I'm doing some rounding between the tangles, or in these small spaces, and then I'm just filling the background between the tangles with these aura lines, same that I did above. It will be barely visible after I add shades, I believe so. So I don't need to be too concerned about doing it nicely, because it will be covered with the shades. I'm almost certain that most of people wouldn't even bother with this, so I don't know why I tend to keep or make my life more complicated than maybe I should. But I love these, you know, giving attention to details. It's just something that I love doing. So now I will first add some shades to the spaces around the tangles, and then I will see about shading and highlighting the tangles themselves. So I want to fill these spaces between the tangles with some shades. And also these places where two tangles overlap, or where one tangle is placed above another one. Just some blending, trying not to blend the pencil over my Molygons, because I still don't know what I will do with shading of Molygon. Now that I have added these dark shades around it, I want to create some contrast by adding some highlights to the tangles. And I will start by adding the highlight to the top side of the tangle, and then later I will see what else I will do. I think that at least some of these are just too small to highlight and shade some sections of them. So I'm actually observing the whole tangle as one shape instead of focusing on sections of each of them. But I don't like the way that it looks now, so I will need to do something more with it. I will also enhance this bottom part. I'm not sure that this was the right approach to shading it, and it's not the way that I would normally do it, but these seemed too small for me to do the regular thing that I would do with shading, but I will add some shade to the sides of these orbs, which seem to be hidden behind these sections where I placed the auras. Maybe some blending. I have a dedicated blending stump or tortillon for each of, you know, the pencils that I'm using, the white one and the black one. trying to keep them separate. I don't like what I did with the shading of this Molygon. And you know, with 31 tangles being a part of this one artwork, and with my decision to do it in a way that there are no mistakes, you know, the Zentangle way, just adding one tangle after the other one, it's just you know, expected that some tangles I will prefer more than the others, that the way I draw some of them I will like more than the way that I draw the other ones, and that's totally fine. I don't need to like the result of each day of drawing to enjoy the process. So for me, the key thing is to enjoy the process and share my joy and my process with you. And if I like the result, well, that's great. But if I don't, I still have enjoyed the process and I loved it. So the result in Zentangle is not the primary reason to do the method. I think that the methods offer so much more than, you know, having a nice drawing that I would post to my social media. And this is why I decided to do this in a way that I'm doing it, because people often ask, well, how do you choose tangles? How can I combine? Which ones go nicely with each other? And I want to prove to you that you can combine any two tangles and there are no mistakes. I'm coming back to my to the tangle of day 4, which was Sook, because I noticed that I might maybe like to have some shades on the bottom part of this, each of these I don't know what is it, leaf shapes or petal shapes. And my Molygon is done too. It's not the most beautiful Molygon I've done in my Zentangle career, but it's fine as it is. Thank you for drawing with me again, and I will see you tomorrow with a new tangle. Goodbye, have a nice day.